What's up everybody? So in today's video we are taking a look at the all-new, brand new 2019 Ford Ranger. Huge thank you to Mooresville Ford. They're providing this truck for today's video. Definitely check out the link to their website down in the description below. They're getting these things in ready to start the new year with the new Ranger, so definitely check them out. And the model that we're looking at today is a Lariat finished off in shadow black and has an MSRP of $45,500. Underneath the hood of the new Ranger, this features a 2.3 liter EcoBoost inline 4-cylinder engine. It pumps out 270 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. The engine features direct injection, a twin-scroll turbo, and is the most fuel-efficient gas truck in its class with class-leading torque. The engine is only paired to a 10-speed automatic transmission, sending the power to the rear wheels. However, being a 4-wheel drive truck, we of course have the 4-high and 4-low option. The overall wheelbase of the new Ranger is 126.8 inches. The overall length is 211 inches. We get a height of 72 inches and then a width of 86 inches. And depending on the spec you go with, whether it's a long bed, the short bed, or the full 4-door or not, curb weight ranges from 4,000 to 4,500 pounds. And running off an 18-gallon fuel tank, you can expect to get 20 miles per gallon in the city and 24 miles per gallon on the highway. This particular spec also features the FX-4 off-road package, which features heavy-duty skid plates underneath the vehicle. Of course, we have a locking rear differential and the 4-wheel drive system. We get a departure angle of 25.4 degrees for the rear, an approach angle of 28.7 degrees, and a breakover angle of 21.5 degrees. And with this configuration, we have a towing capacity of 7,500 pounds and a payload capacity of 1,860 pounds. We also get independent front suspension and a solid rear axle. To talk about the exterior styling of the new Ford Ranger, it definitely resembles a lot of the Ford lineup. I can see a lot of F-150 and Ford Explorer in this new truck. We have a sleek looking grille that's finished off in a dark gray. You can actually see the intercooler for the turbocharger right behind it. Gives it a really nice look. We get Ranger written along the grille with your Ford logo. Coming down low, we have a large opening for your radiator. We have parking sensors up front, LED fog lights as well, your standard metal tow hooks, as well as a good look at the FX-4 skid plates underneath. The headlights have a nice design on them, as well as an LED running light along the bottom. We have the HID bulb, the amber turn signal as well. Definitely a really clean setup for the front end. It's muscular and aggressive looking. It looks very modern. And then as we come up to the hood, this has a power dome design. You can see the 2 bubbles on it, just giving it a really cool look as we see all the water beating on it. But that actually channels air over the windshield to help give this truck less wind noise compared to other vehicles. So they've designed this truck to be very aerodynamic, and it gives it a nice look as well. And coming to the side of the truck, we have fender trim finished off in that same dark gray design. We have the Ranger Lariat badge on the side, finished in the same color, giving the front quarter a really cool look. Body color side mirrors with your turn signals integrated on them. The full 4-door design gives the truck a very proportional look. We also have a set of running boards on the side, just finished off in a matte black. And then making our way to the rear end of the truck, we have the same fender treatment, the FX-4 badge. The blind spot alert is built into the taillights, and then as we come around to the rear, we have more parking sensors finishing in the rear bumper, all finished off in that same gray design. We have Ranger stamped into the tailgate with your Ford logo, and then of course your Class 2 towing hitch. And then finishing up for the outside of the truck, we get a set of 18-inch wheels with a 2-tone design, all wrapped in a Hankook all-terrain tire. And keeping the key in my pocket, all I have to do is go up to the door handle and grab it. Truck automatically unlocks, and we can take a look at this new interior. We get black leather along the door panel with some gray stitching, all of your window controls, a grab handle, and your release. Nice little storage pocket and a cup holder. Moving our way into the seat, we have black leather, the same white stitching on it. You got Ranger on the top. And now inside the truck with my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and start it up. On the left side of the steering wheel, we have all of your cruise control settings, and then on the right, we have all the Bluetooth and audio controls. Using these 2 different arrow pads, control the different screens on the left and right side of the speedometer. On the left side, we can see a few different things. In display mode, we can have your tach, your fuel and temperature, different off-road settings, seeing the degree of the steering, your pitch and roll as well, speed, tire pressure, a few other things. We can see driver assist, your blind spot alert. You can turn that on and off. Trailer length, you can adjust it for that. Trailer sway, So many different things that you can look at for here, driver alert, and then looking over on the right side, we can see your entertainment, looking at your different radio that's on, and then some settings for your phone as well. So very cool that you have two different digital displays around the analog one in the center, just to really customize what you want to see. We have your headlight switch over on the left side, very simple, just like your typical Ford vehicle. Your mirror controls, black leather along the dash with the same gray stitching, a little bit of a storage pocket as well, and then coming down to the touchscreen navigation display. This does have a screen cover on it right now, but you can see your navigation screen in the full view, and then look at other things as well as your Bluetooth, your climate control settings. You can see every single thing on the screen. Very easy to adjust everything. Dual zone climate control, on and off and everything. So super easy to use, just like your typical Ford system is going to have. And then hitting home, we can have a few things on the screen at once, even seeing your heated seats on there. And as we come down, we have all of your audio controls, as well as a few more climate controls, volume on the left, the tuning on the right, and then different tracks. We have fan speed and temperatures for the dual zone, all the different settings, as well as your heated seats. Two 12-volt outlets. We get a little cubby spot with two USBs, a few off-road settings right here, your locking differential, auto start stop, traction control, parking sensors, your trailer system, and then this button right here, if I go ahead and press that, that'll enable the trail control, which is actually a cruise control system designed for the off-road. It'll monitor the speed from 0 to 20 miles an hour and really keep the truck going at a slow speed for off-road. We have all your four-wheel drive selections, your four-wheel high, four low, and then pressing the TM button, you have your different terrain modes. You have your normal, a grass, gravel, snow one, mud, and then a sand mode. We have a leather shift boot around the shifter, your plus and minus to manually shift, nice little cup holder and your parking brake. And then to take a look at the center console, popping this open, we have a pretty good amount of space in there. It can definitely fit some phones and wallets in there. And then to take a look at the glove box, opening that up, we have a good amount of space in there, just like your typical vehicle. So nice to see you have some space. Closing that up, we'll take a nice look at the dash. We have Ranger on it, which just gives it a really clean look. This is kind of a gunmetal gray finish. You got it on the side as well. Very clean looking dash, as you can see. We also have a Bang & Olufsen audio system, which is a nice touch to have for this truck. And then just taking a quick look at the interior. Very sleek setup. Very nice seats with the stitching, the overall usability, definitely an easy truck to get used to. So now taking a look at the rear seats of the truck, go ahead and open it up. It's raining out, so I have all my camera gear over on the other side. The same black seats with the stitching and everything. Already very comfortable seating position, my legs fit nicely in it. I have a ton of leg room in it. I have the seats set to how I like them sitting. And then as we look in the truck, we can pull this down. We get your cup holders on it, as well as a nice armrest. And then coming up here, we can press this and open up the rear window, get a nice look into the bed. So that's a great feature. And then we'll go ahead and close the door just to see how it is. But with the truck closed now, you definitely have a lot of room back here. These mid-size, smaller size trucks are never that big compared to like an F-150 or something. But this is definitely a usable truck with plenty of rear seat space for rear passengers. We also have a cubby spot right here. You have storage behind each seat. And then we have two USBs. And then opening this up, we have your standard 3-prong outlet. So definitely a nice place to be in the back of the new Ranger. And we can get another good look at the dashboard, the way everything is laid out. Definitely a nice looking truck inside and out. Alright guys, so we are now in the brand new Ford Ranger, driving this thing out on the road to see what it has to offer. First things first though, the visibility is really good. I like how the seating position is. I feel higher up in the truck. I feel really confident in the truck. Visibility is fantastic looking out of the windshield. I really like how I can see the hood, that power dome design with all the lines on it. It just looks really cool from my view. The side mirrors are really large, so I can easily see what's coming behind me. Looking over my left and right shoulder, there's really no blind spots in it. There's definitely a lot of glass right near you, so you can easily see around in the truck. And then at slow speeds for parking, you have your rear view backup camera as well as all of your parking sensors. So navigating this truck, whether you're on the highway merging in and out of lanes or just parking in slow speed stuff, this is pretty easy to maneuver. The overall layout of the dash, I like the way everything looks. It's really clean and simple. I like how a lot of new cars and trucks nowadays are just getting a little bit more simple with the way that they work. I don't need a million buttons to confuse me while I'm driving. I want something very simple. The climate controls on the actual nav screen is really cool because I can easily see it without taking my eyes off the road for too long, change what I want, and continue driving. So I like the overall layout, seems pretty good. The comfort now driving this, it is really smooth. It's a rainy day, so it's obviously not not really the best day outside. But even driving through the rain right now, there's no noise or anything. It's just a very smooth, quiet ride. I'm sure the microphone is picking up that it's pretty quiet in here. I don't even have to yell or speak super loudly or anything when I'm talking, but it's definitely really smooth. I think the suspension does a good job absorbing the bumps. The off-road FX-4 suspension is probably a little bit softer than the standard one. That way it's a little bit better off-road with better articulation and everything. But as I come to a sharp turn now, you know, there's a little body roll, which is what you're going to expect in a truck like this, but it's definitely pretty confident going around a sharp turn. So now getting up to about 50 miles an hour, we'll take some sharper turns now. You know, the truck seems pretty stable. It's not all over the road. It doesn't handle like a truck would. It kind of resembles how maybe a nicer SUV is gonna work. This is still a body-on-frame design. They didn't do some unibody like all the crossovers are turning into. So this is still a truck underneath, boxed-in frame, full steel frame, everything like that. Your typical structure of a pickup truck. So even with all that rigidity and that truckness of the design of it, it doesn't handle like that. It's handling just like a normal vehicle that would actually be a really comfortable daily. This would actually be a great daily just because, I mean, it drives like an SUV is. It's nothing crazy, or, you know, you're not sacrificing the on-road driving capabilities just to get the beefy truck, the insane towing that this thing has, and of course the really good off-road. But so far, just putting a few miles cruising, you know, getting more comfortable with it. Actually going to turn the heat down a little bit, but it's comfortable. You know, I don't have any complaints. I like the seating position. You can move it in a lot of different ways, so you can really customize how you want the seat to fit. The lumbar support is really good, so I have no complaints. And then the steering wheel tilting and telescoping, that is a great touch. So now we have a 4-cylinder engine, by the way. I know I mentioned that in the beginning. When you hear a 4-cylinder in a $45,000 truck, it doesn't really sound too good at first, but this is Ford's EcoBoost engine, so we got a turbocharger on it. This has more torque than all of the other gas trucks in its class. And looking at some reviews of people comparing this to the Tacoma, the Colorado, and other trucks like that, the gear ratios in this truck with the low range gearbox, you know, in the 4 low, using the different technology settings for off-roading, this has not only class-leading engine torque, but the best torque at the wheels to get up and go, to tow things, you know, pulling your boat out of the boat slip. This thing is the best of them all, looking at the specs. So now I'm going to slow down a little bit and see how this 4-cylinder performs getting up to speed, because you don't want a slow truck. Let's give it some gas and see what it's like. That right up to 60 miles an hour. Not even winding out the engine. It's crazy. I've never thought a 4-cylinder truck, but this thing with the EcoBoost, you know, Ford has developed this technology over many years now, so they're going to put the right engine in this truck. You're getting class-leading fuel economy in this vehicle and best torque, all from a smaller, lighter engine that's more efficient. So that is really cool that Ford is going the way of the future, really. They're making their trucks and cars more efficient, more powerful, and just better overall. So yeah, it's not a V6 like its competitors, but you have the power, you have more power actually, and you have all the capabilities and then some. Okay, so now we're going to do an acceleration from a standstill just to see what it's like getting up to speed. So we're just in normal drive, slow speed. Wow. That is no slouch. That is actually really impressive. So initially, first given just a little gas, I didn't feel too much, but when I gave it like half throttle, the engine really kicked in and that took off. That was actually impressive. That is really cool. So we'll try a passing speed from 45. Oh yeah. I mean, you're not going to have an issue at all as far as power goes, so don't let the 4-cylinder scare you. You know, it's got the numbers and power to back it up. That is really impressive. So if you're looking for the Ranger, that is cool. And then now a quicker turn that's actually pretty steep, or pretty sharp, I should say. I mean, this thing handles the road really nicely. That is impressive. I am liking the way this thing is driving. So now let's just do a really sharp kind of 3-point turn, kind of U-turn right now. Turning radius is really tight. And then getting back up to speed, let's say I gotta get into traffic really quick. Yeah, I mean, there's no slouching with the engine. It definitely does what you need it to do. And with the 10 speed, you have a lot of gears to really utilize all the power and be in the optimal RPM range. So having that type of transmission with this engine is definitely a good decision by Ford. It just makes this truck a little bit better to drive. But there's definitely no issues with the on-road driving. It's a nice truck to drive, hands down. It's kind of hard to pick it apart to find anything that actually isn't good about it. It's just a nice overall pickup truck. If you're in the market for something like this, put this truck on your list. You know, these things are hitting the dealerships ready to go, and it is an impressive truck. But now Ford has really stepped up their game. They did a lot of work with the F-150 lately. That truck is #1 for a reason. It's an amazing truck, especially the Raptor. That's my favorite trim level, of course. But with the Ranger now, you're getting all the stuff you liked in the F-150 in a smaller package to compete with these smaller trucks. You know, not everybody needs an F-150. That might just be overkill for certain people's needs. So with the Ranger, you can still get the Ford, everything that you like about them, and it's really a hard truck to complain about. And then I have seen things about the Raptor Ranger. I hope that's coming to the States. That's going to be an amazing truck just to take this thing to the next level. This Lariat, though, ton of standard features, all these safety features, the off-road features, nice luxurious interior. Has a lot of options that definitely make this a pretty premium truck. So that about wraps up taking a look at the all-new 2019 Ford Ranger. Really exciting to see this new truck in the US market once again. I think Ford did a really good job. The exterior styling, it looks like a really, really nice truck. Very modern looking. It looks right at home within the Ford lineup, kind of a mini F-150. So I'm definitely impressed with the way they designed it. Interior, really easy to use, nice sleek design. The overall ride quality, as I go over train tracks, it's a smooth ride on road. You still get the rugged truck design with a full frame and body on frame design. Off-road capabilities are certainly there with the different technology packages you can get. And overall, the performance, the driving, everything about it, I think it's a pretty good truck. Definitely put it on your list if you're looking at the competitors for this vehicle. I think Ford did a really good job introducing this thing back to the States. So that is it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Give it a huge thumbs up. Once again, check out Motorsport Ford's website. I'll have that linked in the description below. Massive thank you to them for providing this truck for today's video. They have a huge selection of all the brand new Fords, and right now they are getting all of the new Rangers ready to go for the year, so definitely check them out. So anyways, that is it for today's video. Give it a huge thumbs up, smash the subscribe button. We'll see you guys in the next video.